All right, what's crack-a-lackin' is your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So we're back. It's conference championship weekend. Got the Christmas hat. Come on, guys. It's the Christmas season. It's bowl season. It's about to be bowl season at least. But hopefully y'all are having a great day. We're live on the YouTube. We're live on X. We're going to be here all day. Big 12 conference championship game. You got it. SEC conference championship game. You got it. Big 10 championship game. You got it. Matter of fact, we're even going to go live after and do some guesswork when it comes to these bowls. But it's about to be a hell of a day. I'll go over what transpired yesterday as Tulane seemingly moved on. They will play in the college football playoff without Summerall, of course, who's heading to Florida. But still, they move on. They're going to be in the college football playoff. Oh, shucks. You know what I got to do before I do all that? I got to hook up my Ethernet cord. I'll be back. That's right. We can't rely on Wi-Fi. All right, Ethernet cord is set up. Kick that bad boy. There we go. We are connected. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, I'll get to the chat in a sec, and we'll talk some college football playoff. Just gonna share the stream, and if you could share the stream, it would be much appreciated. Share it on whatever platform you like. Go for it. Send it. Let's see. Also today, special thanks to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. They're going to be sponsoring us all throughout the day. You can go sign up, download the app at Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code Broshmo, and they will match that first deposit up to $1,000 dues. That's right. You heard it here first. 1,000. Golly geez. Like the stream, if you're on the X, hit the heart, I think, and go for it. Real quick, let's go over yesterday. Tulane. To be fair, I thought Texas or North Texas did a good job fighting back into this game. They lost their star running back. I think his name's Dawkins. I don't know. He's like a freshman, so he's not on my draft radar. So I don't exactly got his name to memory just yet. But for the most part, Tulane smashed. Their pass rush was insane yesterday. Really a lot of blitzing. James Madison kind of played with their food for a little bit and then actually pulled away in the fourth quarter. But they're now the Sun Belt champions. They're on the outside looking in. Kind of depends on what happens with the ACC title game and Virginia. If Virginia wins, they're in. And then we can talk about all the crazy scenarios. Who deserves to be that next seed? Kennesaw State, they're going to win the Conference USA. Good for them. Love to see it. They beat Jacksonville State. And then Boise State, they beat UNLV. They win the Mountain West. All right, let's get to the chat. Let's see who's all up in the chat. We got Eric. LA Knight was done dirty again last night. Yeah, I don't mind LA Knight losing. I think I'd rather see Gunther take on John Cena for his last match, but that's just me. I like both guys a lot, like tremendously. Two of my favorite wrestlers going, but it was a hell of a match there. I think they went close to 20 minutes. Texas Tech, they will win 48-17. Yeah, I think a big blowout safely eliminates BYU from the conference championship discussion, or from the college football playoff discussion, excuse me. That's just kind of what I think. It's just kind of what I think. But yeah, I would take Texas Tech in the points today. I think they were down to 12.5. Yeah, but that thing was up to minus 13.5 earlier in the week. We got Dexy. BYU got smoked last time, and it will happen again. BYU is trash. They're not trash. They're a good team. They're a good team. It might surprise y'all. Their strength of schedule is actually a lot better than you expect. And you'd be like, well, what? Their one big win is Utah, but here, let me pull this up on another screen. College football strength of schedule rankings, please. Again, this is ESPN's power index, but if you look at strength of schedule, BYU sits where? Where's BYU? There they are. They're 34th, which if you consider, oh, wow, Miami is 44, Notre Dame is 42. Those are 2-loss squads. BYU is a 1-loss squad. So it kind of feels like they should get in. They made their conference championship. Miami did. Notre Dame, they don't play in a conference. Kind of a little bit of a luxury, but it also comes with a little bit of, well, they're always going to be in this discussion if they're in the mix. But BYU is not bad. They're not bad. Is Notre Dame out? If BYU wins, ask Cohen. Yeah, I think seemingly because Alabama vaulted. We could go to the college football playoff rankings. Alabama vaulting Notre Dame was kind of huge. And yeah, BYU win gets them in. Then you get potentially, well, that you either get Tulane and then either Virginia and James Madison. So yeah, we won't even have to have this Miami Notre Dame discussion if BYU wins because there's no shot Texas Tech isn't making the college football playoff. They've been one of the most dominant teams this year. Pray for Indiana today, Wade. Hey, I wouldn't bet on Indiana. I'd definitely bet Ohio State. My heart is pulling for Indiana today, though. My heart is pulling for him. Eric, how do we know Tulane is the highest rated group of 5 already? Because we have the college football playoff rankings right here. Tulane 20th, James Madison 25th, North Texas 24th. That's how we know. That's how we know. And I don't think anything Tulane did nothing but control North Texas. James Madison was competitive until the fourth quarter. So, yeah, Tulane did nothing for James Madison to drop him. Tulane's the top group of 5 team. That's how we know. Houston got the highest ranked recruit by 24/7. That's insane. That's insane, Eric. You're at the game, Kirito? Hey, you have a good time, my friend. You going live for all the playoff games? For most of them, I'll be live, Lion. For most of them. Lion Spartan. Oh, interesting. We got Skater Boy. Michigan's got guys coming in 4 5 stars. Oh, that's nuts. Hey, Michigan can recruit, man. They can recruit. Dexy, you're salty at BYU. I feel you. Lions, if you are going to spam, I'm going to put you in timeout, my friend. If you're going to spam, I'm going to put you in timeout. Please don't spam the chat. I have a feeling this is MSU. Sounds like MSU. All right, let's get the game cast going. I got biscuits and gravy I'm about to dig into. I'm excited. Gojo's excited. He wants to break into my door. Hey, guys, just want to remind y'all, Jesus loves you. Thank you, Cody. God bless, bro. All right, before I take my first bite of these delicious biscuits and gravy, I got to let Gojo in. If you don't know, we're kind of a draft channel. So if you like the NFL draft, I got good news for you. I have a draft guide.
We love the NFL draft, and now my draft guide is available for purchase. It comes with over 500 player backgrounds and close to 300 player evals. It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So when I add a new eval or I change my rankings, you're going to be the first to know. It's going to have all the pro day and combine numbers along with analytics. And it's a Google spreadsheet for right now. So you have to include your email with the purchase, but we will be switching over to a website at the end of the year. And if you get it now, it's going to be cheaper now than it will be later. It's a great way to support the channel. And as always, much appreciated, much obliged.
Yeah, buddy. No, Andrew, we'll have the game cast up, so you'll get a bigger scoreboard right here. But until the game goes live, it's kind of just like showing ads and stuff. So, yeah, no, I'll have a scoreboard up, Andrew. I'll even give you a play-by-play to the best of my ability. Today, honestly, anytime we stream, I am both the play-by-play and the color commentator. The color commentator and the play-by-play. Let's go. What up, Nintendo? How you doing, my buddy? My friend? Yeah, easy breezy, Andrew. I got you. I got you. We got Skater Boy. Michigan just got another good kicker. One who I've seen who's making it from 70. That's insane. That's insane. That's some range. Dude's kicking it from 70 in high school? Golly. I mean, that's an insane boot. For high school 70? I gotta see it to believe it, man. All right, so key thing the college football committee said. They don't say a lot of good things because I don't think they know what they're doing a lot of times. But they said idle teams not playing this week, can move up and down. So things aren't necessarily set in stone when it comes to like Notre Dame, Miami, maybe even Texas and Vandy. Though I think those two are very big, long shots to make the college football playoff. But that's even important for your teams like Ole Miss and A&M. If an Alabama were to win the SEC, I think they probably get one of those top 4 seeds. He's an ex-soccer player. Yeah, but not every soccer player can kick it that far. That's not like the cheat code. I mean, it kind of is. Most of your kickers are going to be ex-soccer players, but still, that's impressive. North Texas didn't get rigged. Now, you might be talking about it was kind of a muff punt, but not a muff punt, but the punt that hit a North Texas player because they didn't call kick catch interference because the punt returner was trying to make his way back. That was the one thing I probably saw that was like, that's like a devastating call. Because I think it allowed Tulane to go up, what? Probably by 21, I think, at half. But Tulane definitely, it didn't help that for North Texas, they lost their star running back. But like Tulane was running the ball all over North Texas. I don't remember the fake pass interference call. To be fair, North Texas did plenty of things that shot themselves in the foot. Let's not pretend like they played to win the game. They rallied back late. I like that. That was fun. That was good. All right, we just got the kickoff. Texas Tech will get the ball first. Let me just refresh the game cast here. They will get the ball at their own 25. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Empty backfield for Morden here. Oh, no, never mind. He's got Dickey to his left. And, ooh, misses a little high. That was Aiken on the quick slant. What up, Jeff? How you doing? When are they in? BYU's in if they win. I think Texas Tech's in regardless. We got a false start. Tech is gonna go back a little bit. I don't want to influence you, mate. I don't know what that means. All right, we got a quick little bubble screen. So Virgil, who's close to, if not, has the first down. Really good run after the catch. And they hand off to Dickey, who breaks 2 tackles and almost a third, picks up 3. That was a tough 3 yards. Ooh. And fake the handoff. We're going to kick it out to Terrence Carter, who breaks a tackle. He's out around the first. They're going to call him 2 yards short. 3rd and 2. And handoff here to Dickey. Strong run. Got the first. They're out close to midfield. Skater boy, the Lions need help. Shoot, dude. They need help at corner. They just lost Brian Branch for the year and then some, dude. Oh, Moore drop it back. Gets it out to Dickey for about 5 yards. All right, 2nd and 5. Terrence Carter in motion. He's a pull blocker. Dickey, almost breaks it outside. Picks up about 3 there. And fake the handoff. Throwing it out there to Dickey. Oh, it's incomplete. Oh, they gave him the first? I guess the broadcast is having trouble with their digital first down line. Although they were a couple of yards short. 2nd and 10. Texas Tech down at their own, or at the BYU 42. Got Ekin in motion. And they're going to hand it off. That's Williams, who's tackled in the backfield. Is that? Who is that? Satuala? Ooh. I'm munching down some biscuits and gravy. I just cleared that sucker. 3rd and 13. Big 3rd and 13 here. Looks like we have a timeout. BYU. All right, let me go over some of the chats that I just missed. Let's see. How are we talking about Lions trading St. Brown or Vikings trading Justin Jefferson? I don't see that happening. Kirby Joseph, hasn't he had like a knee issue or something here? I have it. I can pull it up here. Let's see. Pulling up their IR. Yeah, some sort of knee issue for Kobe Joseph. Kirby Joseph. I said Kobe. All right, 3rd and 13. Empty backfield. Yeah, the running back in motion. He's on the drag. They try to get it to him. Almost picked off. Running back actually did a good job stopping the defender from getting that. Golly, dude. Oh, I want to go look if this Satuala cat is draft eligible. Don't touch them until you're actually going to do them, okay? Well, you don't do them unless me or mom's there, okay? All right, thank you. All right, BYU is going to get the ball at their own 10. Let's pull this up. Safety. Oh, he's actually, or at least via PFF, their 2nd highest player on the defense. Yeah, the only thing with these BYU guys, probably went on a mission trip. Says he's not draft eligible till next year, maybe. This is his first year as a full-time starter, though. Interesting. Didn't start the year as a starter either. Even more intriguing. Dude, Trinidad Chambliss has an AT&T commercial. Oh my gosh, that is the greatest thing I've seen. What should the Chiefs do in the draft? O-line or corner? I mean, they have multiple picks. They could do whatever they want. Yeah, Lions don't have to draft a safety. I was just putting it out there that they're just a banged up team. They're pretty banged up. It's pretty unfortunate. Well, we do have Western Michigan up 7-0 in the MAC championship on against Miami Ohio, who they lost to. So we're just gonna leave that up for a sec. Got the coffee with me as well. It's a Christmas blend with sugar cookie creamer. That's freaking nuts. It's delightful. There you go, Gojo. All right, here comes BYU. Big problem that they ran into was, well, the offense couldn't move. And it felt like last game Texas Tech gave them every option to come back into that game, as Texas Tech couldn't finish drives, having to settle for field goals instead of touchdowns. I don't know if you're going to be that lucky today. Defense, good showing thus far for BYU, but BYU's offense needs to move the ball. I don't know if they can. This defense is nuts. David Bailey, Jacob Rodriguez, Price is really good. Or, yeah, Price, right? Bullock Price, the corner there? Nah. But here we go. 2nd and 8 after like the swing pass to the running back. Man in motion. They fake the handoff. Nice. Little slant. I say a little slant. It was kind of deep. Gets it to Chase Roberts for a first down. They're out to their 30. Skateboard, they need a tight end because you have seen that they don't have no one besides Sam Laporta. Well, yeah, Brock Wright. Didn't he just hit IR or something? We got Cody. I truly believe Denver goes wide receiver in round 1. They were aggressive in the trade deadline and trying to land a wide receiver, so they obviously think they just need it. Maybe. What do we got? A handoff here to LJ Martin for 7 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 3. They could go wide receiver. Maybe they just bring in a veteran guy. Dexy, ever heard of a restructured contract? Talking about Justin Jefferson. Dude, there's no way the Vikings at this point, at this juncture, trade Justin Jefferson. There's no way you look at your offense and you're like, Justin Jefferson's the problem. Another handoff to, great stop there. That's Jacob Rodriguez in the backfield making the 1 yard loss on the handoff to LJ Martin. Oh, that's right. The throat injury. That's right. The trachea or whatever. That's wild. All right. 3rd and 4 here for BYU. And Bachmeier is going to try to run for it, and he's going to pick it up. Oh, slide, young man. But he picks up the first down on the ground. Yeah, I could see Addison getting moved before Justin Jefferson. We got a handoff. It's a flea flicker. Gets it out to LJ. Honestly, probably good. I don't mind him dropping that. That flea flicker was kind of scuffed. Like, they handed it off to LJ Martin, who then tosses it to the wide receiver, who in return tosses it back to Bachmeier. And Bachmeier threw it a little high. It is what it is, but still, man, nuts. Empty backfield, gets it out quick to Martin on the screen, who's going to be close to the first down. It's going to be like a 3rd and 1. Okay, here comes 3rd and 1. Oh, they got a... Who's down? Well, I guess their other linebackers down currently. Let's see. If you have the draft guide, you might have noticed that I've been adding the invites for the Senior Bowl and the Shrine Bowl. And in all honesty, that's kind of a note for myself that I need to watch these guys before I travel to Mobile. So yeah, it's gonna be intriguing. I mean, we could go over some of those guys real quick. I don't know if anyone accepted invites last night or maybe early this morning, but as far as like quarterbacks, you only got Taylor Green and Troy Robertson. I mean, granted, hey, Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, maybe Lenore Sellers. Well, Lenore Sellers, actually, he's got to make a decision. Is he going to the transfer portal or is he declaring? Or is he staying? But yeah, as we get through the month of December and even like the month of December, they'll fill out the Senior Bowl roster. Mike Washington, running back at Arkansas, is heading there. I've seen Skylar Bell's got the invite, and he's probably going to end up going, the UConn wide receiver, but you got Josh Cameron already accepting the invite. You got Romello Brinson out of SMU, former Miami Hurricane, by the way, but he's heading there. Michael Trigg, Tanner Koziol. I'm excited. Zion Young, probably the biggest name. Him and Caleb Banks, accepting invites, are kind of huge. Manuel McNeil Warren, the safety out of Toledo. Chris Johnson, the corner out of San Diego State. Oh, I think he could have a big one. But right now, the corners that they invited, like Jalen McMurray was out of Tennessee, was never on my radar. I'm going to have to go watch him. Charles Demmons, the corner from Stephen F. Austin. I had him in my preseason watch list. Just good luck finding Stephen F. Austin tape, right? And then Colin Wright out of Stanford, I didn't get a chance to watch this summer and haven't really kept tabs of this year. You got the Michigan kicker. It wasn't a Shrine or it wasn't the Senior Bowl. I'm pretty sure he's going to the Shrine, right? Yeah, the Michigan kicker is going to the Shrine. The only kicker announced for the Senior Bowl, well, not kicker, but punter, is Ryan Eckley from Michigan State. Again, I mean, I don't know if names got added today and I just missed out. All right, we got kind of a tush push that felt like it failed. It's going to be short. Oh, wait, are they marking it ahead? It feels like he was short. But it looks like favorable position. Oh, okay, okay. Honestly, on replay, that looks a lot closer. It's just as his body crumples down the pile, he gets further away from the first down. So yeah, that was close. That was first down. That looks good to me. All right, dropping back and going over the middle. Oh, throws it to his tight end just out of his reach. Tight end got a nasty shot to the ribs. That's Carson Ryan. Yeah. Oh, that was a nasty hit. Right to the ribs. But Bachmeyer was real high on that sucker. What up, Dusty? How you doing? Oh yeah, that's right. Max Bredson, the fullback, Giovanni Elhadi, the guard. He's heading to the. They're heading to the Shrine. Yeah, Bachmeyer's pretty solid for a freshman. He's a gamer. He's definitely a gamer. Yeah, if I'm being honest, when it comes to like guys that I'm gonna watch next, I'm watching those Senior Bowl guys first before I get to the Shrine. Got to get those guys out of the way. I mean, there's a couple of tight ends: DJ Rogers, TCU, Sam Roosh, Stanford, who I know Hail Mary Sports already watched. He said he was all right. They get it out quick to the running back in Martin, who's close to the first down. Don't know if they give it to him. They might. It's right there on the first down line. Who do you see Morning going to? Oh, bro, I don't know. We're talking about a day 3 quarterback. Who do I see them going to? I could be literally 32 teams. Oh, we got John Michael. Oh, here, let me get his pronunciation. Gillenborg needs more love. Dude, he kind of had a down year at Wyoming this year. Kind of had a down year. He's a really good seam threat, though. Whenever I say that, it makes me think of like Luke Musgrave. I think it might be a little bit thinner, but I'd have to. I'm not saying that's a comp or anything, but I'm just talking about like he's a vertical seam type. Whoever got SEC championship game. Who do we got in the SEC championship game? I lean Georgia. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat a team twice in a season. I would ride. Okay, they're gonna say BYU short by a yard. Handoff. And LJ Martin is gonna get the first down. Gillenborg, I'd have to go watch some of his recent stuff, but I never felt like he was a blocking tight end. Watching his tape over the summer and then watched a couple of games this year. I do not get the feel he's a blocking tight end whatsoever. Like he lined up in line, but they fake the trick play and they get it to Carson Ryan, who was hurt earlier. And then he takes another nasty shot to the helmet. Gets shoved and then tackler accidentally hits him in the head. Yeah, but I mean, Gillenborg had a really good year last year. Really good year last year. Ohio State or Indiana for the Big Ten. I'm rooting for Indiana, but my parlay says Ohio State. Oh, man. It's just hard to bet against stinking Ohio State. But I'm rooting for Indiana. All right. So BYU, man, they're driving. This is a very promising start here. Man, they have moved the ball really well. Is 11 rush yards really on this first drive? I felt like LJ Martin has more than that. Maybe it's just because he's taken some passes out of the backfield. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Martin, 3 carries for 8 yards, but he does have 2 receptions for 18 yards. So that's probably why it feels like he should have more rushing yards, because he's just been getting yards. We see Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate play today. Yeah, I mean, it's a big game. I imagine they will. Brian Day on Bussin' with the Boys made it sound like, hey, this is an exceptionally big game. You want to win this. There's something to be said about being the first overall seed going into it, and just gives your team a level of expectation heading into the conference championship games or heading into the college football playoffs. So I imagine you're going to see both Tate and Jeremiah Smith play today. I'd be shocked if one, let alone both, don't play. I would be stunned. Ooh. All right. Hey, Kirito, look at you watching BYU drive on that Texas Tech defense right now. Honestly, those are pretty solid seats too. They're not bad for being what? They're in like the third. Huh. I don't know. I don't mind those seats though. Yeah, both are suited up today. Yeah, I'd expect they would. Oh, we've had some college football head coaching hires, by the way. If you didn't know, now you know. Let's see. College football. We had the big one was Matt Campbell. Here we go. Hires Matt Campbell. He ends up going to Penn State. Penn State fumbled their whole bag when it came to this coaching search, and they got lucky and found themselves stumbling into a really good head coach. A little run here, gets a yard from Bachmeier. Like legitimately, like Matt Campbell is a good head coach, really good head coach. He should have been on more people's radars. I think last year I did a head coaching video, but it was for the NFL. And I threw out a few names that can maybe make the jump from college to the NFL. Matt Campbell was on that list. People need to quit sleeping on Matt Campbell. Broshmo, what do you think of Katron Allen to the Bills to be the Thunder to Cooks' Lightning? Oh, LJ Martin into the end zone. Touchdown. Broke one tackle, then hit the booster. Oh, there we go. BYU offense moving. Now, I will say, Texas Tech, this team could score. They could score a lot. But BYU's defense is pretty good. They did a good job of making sure in the last game that scoring drives ended in field goals. This BYU defense was not necessarily a weakness, but always on the back foot because of how the offense was just unable to move the ball. And then they made silly mistakes here and there, not just on offense, but sometimes on special teams. So if the offense is cleaned up, we got ourselves a game here. Yep, Lane Kiffin to LSU. That's probably the biggest move. In return, Paul Golden gets elevated from DC to head coach there at Ole Miss. Will he be the head coach moving forward? Sounds like it, probably. People sleep. Paul Golden, really good DC. Really good DC. He legitimately flipped that Ole Miss defense. Let's see what other ones. You got Kansas State. They hire Colin Klein, which that's a good hire. Former was he the OC over at A&M? But yeah, former Kansas State quarterback. So seeing him get hired to Kansas State makes sense. I like the hire too. Tosh Lupo? I don't know. The Oregon DC. He's going to Cal. James Madison hires Billy Napier, returning to the Sun Belt. Oh, watch out. I actually don't mind that. I like that hire. Brian Hartline getting a head coaching job. He was another guy that I thought might make a jump to the NFL as a positions coach. But he's done a good job as the OC this year for Ohio State. Oh, I didn't know Texas Tech or North Texas already hired their next head coach. Neil Brown. Interesting. We got a handoff to Williams here, who just gets to the line of scrimmage. Let's see. Hold on. I'm unfamiliar with Neil Brown. Oh, here comes a pass rush, and incomplete, dangerous throw, though. Morton feeling the pressure. It's going to be 3rd and 10. Was he out of college football last year? Oh, no, he was an assistant head coach over at Texas this year. But prior to that, he was the West Virginia head coach. Oh, okay. That's not a bad hire for power or a group of 5 school. All right, here comes 3rd and 10. Morning, dropping back. Clean pocket, gets it out. That's Douglas, I believe. No, Virgil, my bad. Virgil making some moves. He's out across midfield down to the BYU 45. Nice pass there. Reggie Virgil, formerly of Miami, Ohio. Oh, handoff to Dickey, who breaks it outside. And honestly, good run defense. Good pursuit to limit that to about a 1 or 2 yard gain. Who's everyone's pick for the Natty? Either Ohio State, Oregon, or Georgia. I would lean Ohio State, Georgia as one of the two. Then again, that Georgia Tech game made me reconsider Georgia. Morton fakes, play fake, like pump fakes, and then just runs it. Might have been a designed quarterback run, but it's going to be 3rd and 6. Speaking of North Texas, how bad were the officials last night? They weren't great. They weren't great. Morton gets it over. Is that Virgil again? It is. Virgil picking up 17 yards there. They're down to the BYU 24. This is what I mean, man. This Texas Tech offense can move. Can they actually score touchdowns? I know that's not been a problem for them in many games, but it was a problem in the BYU game where they had to settle for field goals. Yeah. Colin Klein played for Kansas State. They hand off. They toss it out to Terrence Carter, who's out past the first down to about the. They're going to have him down at the 11. They're moving. They're moving and grooving. Oh, again, if you're watching this on the YouTube, we got 10 likes and 40 all in here. Hit that thumbs up. Come on, where's your Christmas spirit? Ho, ho, ho. Ho! Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. They just pulled up the stat. Last time they BYU earlier in the year. They had seven drives that made it to the red zone, and they had to settle for 4 field goals and got 2 touchdowns out of it. Texas Tech's going to call a timeout, so we can go over some more of the head coaching stuff real quick. Will Stein going to Kentucky is huge. Oh, I love that hire for Kentucky. A regular quarterback whisperer. And they got Cutter Boley there. UCLA hires Bob Chesney, who is the James Madison head coach, so he won't be there if they make the playoffs. Michigan State, oh, that's right. They hire Pat Fitzgerald, the former Northwestern head coach. Let's see. Summerall to Florida, I liked. I like Golish to Auburn. I really like. Those were 2, I think, the top guys. Ooh, oh man, false start by the offense here. It's gonna move them back. So it's 1st and 15. They could still get a first down. It's just they gotta get to the 1-yard line. Arkansas, Ryan Silverfield's gonna be interesting. They missed out on Golish. But it sounds like Silverfield already doing some good things, being able to retain some of their guys with Quincy Rhodes returning to school. That's kind of huge. Tavita Pritchard going to Stanford. I think he was the quarterback's coach for the Commanders this past year. Ooh, swing pass to Dickey, picks up maybe 7. Yeah, 7 yards down to the BYU 9. Oregon State, they hired Jamarcus Shepard, who was I believe a position coach at Bama, right? Here, let's Google that. Jamarcus Shepard. Handoff to Dickey, breaks it outside. He's going to be close. He's going to be down at the 4. Thought he might have been closer. Okay, it was a co-offensive coordinator and a wide receivers coach at Bama. Okay, I thought so. Jim Mora, former UConn head coach, he's going to Colorado State. I don't know if that's much of a upgrade. Eric Morris, the North Texas coach, is going to Oklahoma State. I thought if he held out, he probably could have got a better Power 4 job, but is what it is. James Franklin, Virginia Tech's monumental for Virginia Tech. Looks like we got another false start potentially. Or was there off? No, it looks like a false start. Yep, false start. So it's going to be 3rd and 8 now for Texas Tech. Now they're moved back to the 9. They can get a first down, but it's at the 1. Basically, you're shooting for the touchdown here. Looks like Joe McGuire, he's complaining that BYU's clapping. Oh, throws it, gets it to Virgil. He's going to be short, though. There it is, man. That BYU defense. Once Texas Tech gets into scoring position, can you limit them? Can you limit them to field goals instead of touchdowns? That's huge. Ohio State's missing the right side of their offensive line tonight. That is huge because Indiana does a lot of fun things on that defensive front. Stunts and loops, all kinds of things. All right, that's the end of the first quarter. We're going to get the field goal attempt at the beginning of the second. As Western Michigan, they're up 10-6 on Miami, Ohio. But Reggie Virgil's had himself a game just on this drive, man. Dang, look at this stat. Buckley for West Virginia or Western Michigan. 4 carries for 86 yards. Woof. Oh, we got Crow Madge Johnson. You think they run a fake field goal to start the quarter? Ooh, probably not. But that would be fun. Skaterboy, I see the Lions tried to work out Justin Simmons, but was declined by his agent. Oh, that's interesting. I feel like Simmons is probably done with football, though. Here, I want to see. Yeah, Buckley has a 67-yarder, so but the other 3 carries for 19 yards is actually kind of nice. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if Simmons could even pass a physical right now. Kind of curious. Could they even pass a physical? All right, let's see what football Twitter's got. Mm, okay. I guess football Twitter's not as lit up as I thought. Oh well. Oh man, BYU. Like BYU winning essentially just eliminates Miami and Notre Dame. And and for the most part, it kind of sets the college football playoff. That's basically what happens. BYU wins, Notre Dame, Miami, you're eliminated. The rest of the day becomes a lot less interesting from that standpoint. BYU's in, Texas Tech is in. Really, the only thing we'd have to find out is it going to be Virginia or James Madison as that final seed. We won't find that out until I think the Virginia Duke game is going to be happening at the same time as the Big Ten championship game. Yeah. So a lot of the chaos, honestly, is avoided. All right, here comes the field goal attempt. And it's good. Like straight up, BYU can save the college football committee by winning this. BYU wins this game. They get their automatic bid. They save the college football playoff community from having to make a big mistake in regards to Notre Dame, Miami. So Texas Tech shooting themselves in the foot on that drive with a couple of false starts once they got into the red zone. Adrian Amos is a guy I wouldn't mind the Lions going with, but he hasn't played or anything since last year. No. I mean, you're not going to find very many solid free agents at this juncture of the NFL season. And honestly, getting a veteran and old head in, kind of good, kind of clutch. All right, we're going to have the touchback. BYU is going to get the ball at their own 25. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Got to run back out to both the right and the left of Bachmeier. He's going to, nope, he's going to hold on to it. He's going to lose a yard. Though, even if he handed it off to Martin, there was nowhere to go. That's Romello Height with the stop. And that's Gojo with the knock. What's up, Goj? And we're going to get a quick pass. Oh, it's tipped up. Oh, man. That would have been nuts if it got intercepted. What a play. So 3rd and long for BYU. Dustin, I hope Notre Dame and Miami, because last year I had want Miami in when Cam Ward was. Yeah, Miami screwed the pooch at the end of the year, though. That was on Miami. And to be fair, Miami put themselves in this situation. Halfback draw, goes for a 1-yard loss. Big stop by the Red Raiders. That's Big Lee Hunter with the stop, too. I mean, we're sitting here arguing what what 2-loss college football team deserves to be in the playoff. Like, should have won more games. I mean, for Miami, whether it be Louisville or SMU, I think the SMU loss is real bad. It's in overtime. You kind of controlled that game for the most part. Not to say they had a big lead, but they had plenty of opportunity to extend a lead there. Oh, Williams is actually going to run this one out. I thought he was going to fair catch. He was surrounded, but he gets to about the 38, 39 of BYU. Oh, very conservative play calling. Yeah, well, I mean, it was 3rd and long. Again, not trying to shoot yourself in the foot. You almost had a ball tipped and picked off on 2nd down. I get the play calling. Dustin, at this point, I'm just seeing how high for what the Vikings draft pick will be. Yeah, no kidding. Later look up Savion Hitter. He's a 5-star running back that signed with Michigan. I'll look him up now. Maybe I'll go check it out on the X. Typically, you can find some good clips and highlights on the X. What was it? What was the name again? Savion. Oh my gosh, what a nasty stiff arm. It looks like he's got loose ankles too, making these guys miss. Let's see. Dude, that stiff arm is nasty. Oh, was that even a stiff arm? That one, he just lowered the shoulder. He gets low. Oh, I like that. I like running backs that can get low. Yeah, but he's got like a very loose lower body to where he could just shift and make pursuit angles difficult. I like that. Ananiah Skodux. Dustin with JJ McCarthy returning. Maybe we have a decent chance. But now Jaden Daniels playing tomorrow, 50-50 chance to win. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how Daniels looks, how healthy he really is. All right, here comes Texas Tech. We're going to get a handoff to Dickey. Nice yardage there. Picks up about 6. And we're going to get another run from Dickey, who's going to be about 2 yards short. That BYU defense swarmed. Yeah, that hitter cat, though, they showed a couple of nasty stiff arms, and he runs low. I just love running backs that can get low and get underneath defenders. And Dickey's stumbling, but he's getting the first. As they're going to get across midfield down to the BYU 49. He's 5'11", 200. That's honestly a good size coming out of high school for a running back. Morin dumping it to Dickey, who's going to pick up about 7 through the air. It's going to be 2nd and 3 from BYU 42. Like 5'11", 200 coming out of high school for a running back. That's pretty legit. Probably means he's going to be like probably playing around eventually by the time his 3rd year in college, probably around like 215, 210. Hand off here again to Dickey as they just continue to try to run it. They might be a yard short, though. And now they're just leaning on the run game. Here they come up tempo, hand it off again. Dickey, good run, gets down to about the 32. First down, Texas Tech. Dickey coming out of the game. Williams coming in. Williams also a very good back here for Texas Tech. You legitimately, I don't think you really lose anything when Williams comes onto the field. So the Michigan roster page probably has him at 6'2", That's funny. All right, they're going to go away from the run game, and they're going to pass, and they're going deep. What a catch! Oh, they're saying he's down at the 1. That was Ekin. All right, Dustin, enjoy work, buddy. What a catch. Oh, that's a touchdown. I think that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Let's get the bell ready because we know that's a touchdown. What a catch. Yeah, he had both feet in and then was on the right side of the pylon. This should be pretty easy. Touchdown. Now Tech has the lead. Wow, actually, that was a really good pass pro from Williams. I think he gave the guy a dead leg too. Oh, they're going for no. They're going to the kick. Okay, they just lined up all funky. Skater Boy in sign recruit, Savion hitter on Thursday. Michigan landed its highest ranked running back of the internet era. Hitter is ranked number 8 nationally in the class. That's via Hayes Forthworth. Nice. There's going to be a lot of competition next year, though. If Justice Hayes returns, they got Jordan Marshall back there, too. Honestly, might not even see hitter until his sophomore season. Spartan, do you think BYU players realize how much they need this game? Well, that's why they scored a touchdown on the earlier, so you would think. And the defense made a big stop to force the field goal on the last drive. But Texas Tech did I think a good job started establishing the run. They were reeling off chunks of yards. And then they go for the home run play and they hit it. Sarah, how you doing, Sarah? Hey, Broshmo and everyone. Glad my Iowa Hawkeyes have Kurt Ferntz. He has been so good. Yeah, how long? He's been there for like, what? Feels like 2 decades. It might even be longer than that, honestly. It is. Yeah, he's been at Iowa since 1999. So yeah. 26 years. That's insane. I didn't know. I didn't know he was in the NFL for a little bit as a positions coach. That's neat. Next year's 28th. Oh, did I do the math wrong? Said he became the head coach there in 1999. So I just tried to do quick math. All right, coach. Golly, let's see what his record is, man, because it always feels like his Iowa teams, for the most part, are an 8-win or more team year in, year out. He's 224 and 149. Yeah, I want to see how many actual losing seasons he's had at Iowa. As we're about to get the kickoff here. First couple of years, which that's to be expected. 1-10, 3-9. But then from there on out, so let's say, okay, we got 2 losing seasons there. In 2006, he went 6-7, so that's 3. 2012, 4-8. Yeah, dude's only had 4 losing seasons in his head coaching career. That's insane. All right, they get the pass out. Is that Kingston? It is. Who gets around the corner? He's close to the first. It's gonna be 2nd and 2. A lot of my friends played for him. That's actually insane. I think it'd be more insane if you're like, yeah, a couple of my friends' parents played for him, which probably could be true. Number 2 recruiting class. Oregon is gonna be Oregon's always a monster. All right, 2nd and 2. They got a man in motion. Hand it off here to Martin, who's going to power his way past the first and then some. Picks up about 6 there. All right, 1st and 10. Fake the handoff, gets it out quick to Kingston, who picks up maybe 2. What conference championship game are you most excited for? Oh, dude, it's the Big Ten championship. Easily. The SEC championship I'm excited for as well. Oh, here comes, oh my gosh, Lee Hunter just rocked. And I mean rocked Bachmeier on the quick screen. May have been a swing pass, but regardless, quick game. But Lee Hunter rocked, and I mean rocked Bachmeier. Notre Dame and Miami, yes, would be essentially eliminated if BYU wins. 3rd and 7 here for the Cougars, trying to respond. And we got whistles and a flag. False start on BYU. That's going to set up 3rd and 12. Woof. All right, here comes 3rd and 12. Here comes the pressure. They dump it off to LJ Martin, who is going to be well short. Picks up probably like 5. You wish the big conference championship games mattered more? Yeah. I feel that. I think you can still, they matter in a sense that they're going to decide some of the buys today. Like Texas Tech, they get a bye if they win their conference championship. The SEC champion, I imagine, is going to get a bye. Just Indiana and Ohio State, they've been so great this year. I don't think it really matters. Both of those teams are going to get a bye. Oh, it's a fake, and it's a terrible pass by the punter. Well, that's a turnover on downs. Man, Texas Tech played that so well. So well. I don't mind the fake punt call, but golly, dude, that was played so well by the Red Raiders. George, yeah. They lasted one corner, but now they're out of gas. Yeah, we'll see, man. And here comes Morin. Oh, almost sacked. Throws this in the direction of Dickey, but it's goes incomplete. Second and 10, man in motion. It's going to be a quick screen to Virgil. Well played. Maybe gets 2 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 8. So BYU's defense, man, can keep them in this game. Like I said, they were huge in the first matchup. It was just the offense couldn't move the football. Don't sleep on this BYU defense. They're pretty darn good. There's flags. And I'm thinking it might be a false start since they killed the play. No, I'm not watching. Why would I watch college basketball while there's conference championship football on? All right, so it's on the offense or it's on the defense. It's actually going to be offside. So it's going to be 3rd and 3. Very manageable. Very manageable for the Red Raiders. Robert, roll tide. You got Carter in motion. They're going to hand this one off to Dickey, who gets the first down easily. Easily. And they're going up tempo. Morton misses Douglas high and behind. So BYU's bringing the pressure. I think Texas Tech, they need to go back to the run game, man. And there we go. They're going back to the run game. Get it to Dickey. And they wrap him up for only a 2-yard gain. So it's going to set up 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. All right, Morton dropping back. Here comes extra pressure, and Morton is sworn, but Morton is making guys miss. He tried. Golly gee, he tried. And that ends up being Josh Kelly bringing him down. Good stop by the BYU defense. Here comes the field goal. Oh, and it's missed. Hey, BYU gets something going on offense. CH, he says, I predict the national championship is Ohio State, Georgia. Yeah, it kind of depends on how the bracket falls. Yeah, BYU dodged a big bullet there. It certainly Ohio State is over again, depending on if they get business done in the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State's easily the biggest favorite for the national championship. James, Indiana whoops Ohio State for the upset. I hope, man, dude. I'm hoping. I'm I'm here for Indiana to win tonight, dude. I'm here for that. I wouldn't bet it. If you're gonna ask me to bet the game, I'm betting Ohio State to cover, especially by only one score. Yeah, but my heart is with Indiana. Thoughts on Fitzgerald hire for MSU? He's a good coach. He did good things at Northwestern, and then things got shady. But he was a good head coach there. I think that's a good hire for Michigan State. I mean, to be fair, I'm like out here looking. I don't think there's been really any hires that I dislike. I'm gonna have to top off my coffee soon. I took Indiana to beat Ohio State at plus 165 money line. You never know. Hey! I'm with you there, dude. I'm with you there. But I'm just saying, when I constructed my parlay today, I was not gonna bet against Ohio State. That's just not how you make money. Betting against Ohio State. Last year, dude, during the college football playoff, I rode with Ohio State, winning by 14 or more points. I was consistently betting up the line until the national championship game. Then I was like, all right, I'm not touching this. I'm just gonna enjoy the national championship. They almost didn't cover against Texas. It didn't cover for me. I think they would have covered the normal line, but I bet it up, of course, because Ohio State powerhouse. I'm concerned, but Vegas does strange stuff with big games. I'm scared though. Yeah, but Vegas has their hands less in the cookie jar of college football than they do like the NFL. I mean, typically you're given pretty favorable spreads for college football. Second and 6, they hand off to Martin, who's going to be close to the first down. It's going to be like a 3rd and 1. Refs don't care. Yeah, well, to be fair, in college football, it's more so refs are just incompetent at their job rather than any like actual malicious like. Yeah, refs are typically just bad at their jobs when it comes to college football. All right, here comes 3rd and 1. And they hand it off to Martin, who will get the first down. Nice pick up there. Currently down at their own 43. Yeah, much more. Yeah, definitely more prominent in the NFL. Handoff here to Martin, who's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss. It's going to be 2nd and 11. All right, Bachmeier dropping back, gets it out to Martin for maybe a yard or two. It's going to set up 2nd and 8. Do you think refs are rigging games in the NFL? I'd like to think not, but I mean, there's some cases where it's like, man, this is shady as hell. But ultimately, I'd like to think they're not. All right, we're going to take the 2-minute timeout here. BYU does have one timeout left. BYU, I believe, does get the ball at half as well. Don't mind me. I'm just putting together some quick wagers. Here we go. All right. I wonder if refs are told what to do in games. Well, I mean, they do have to report to upstairs quite a bit. Again, I mean, I'm not gonna. What's the word? I'm not gonna conspire here on the game being rigged because I like to believe that it's not. But I mean, you're gonna have a little bit. I mean, there's gonna be some deceit in some matters. So I mean, never truly know. But I'd like to not. I'd like to believe that it's not. But college football, why I love betting college football is because you get favorable spreads, larger spreads. I mean, I think it's more exciting. I stay a little bit more in tune to the game anyway. But would you like to see more transparency from the refs in the NFL? Probably. I like how the ACC does it, specifically with their review. Like it'll send it to the box and you get to see what they're seeing and what they're talking about, how they're discussing, if they're going to overturn a call or let it stand. I wish you saw more of that in college football. I wish you saw that in the NFL too. Show me exactly what they're looking at. Sports gambling has done harm to the games. Yep, probably. But I enjoy it. No, I don't. I mean, I'll put together a college basketball tournament bracket. Oh my gosh, the snap is fumbled. Wow, you come back from the 2-minute timeout and you do that. So I guess he wasn't ready for the snap. And I mean, the snap was a little high anyway, but he was not prepared for the snap. And Texas Tech uses a timeout to stop the clock. They got one more timeout left. They're going to get a chance to be able to maybe put some points on the board. I do believe BYU gets the ball after half. Yes, BYU gets the ball after half. All right, here comes the punt. And they're going to let it bounce. And it bounces the other way. So Texas Tech's going to get the ball at their own 33. But while we prepare for this drive, I want to give a quick shout out to our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Download the app. You got your phone out. You might as well download the app and sign up with promo code Broshmo. They match that first deposit up to $1,000 dues. They have promos each and every day available for you. Let that first promo be promo code Broshmo when you sign up. Whether you like weekly best ball or higher or lower on player stats, you can mix and match picks between sports. It's a fun way to play, but as always, play responsibly, play within your means. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders, a minute 42 left in the half. Morton dropping back, pump fakes. Now he dumps it over the middle to Carter, who catches it, but the clock is a ticking. And they're gonna hand this one off on a running back draw. He's about a yard short. Clock is still ticking. And they're gonna hand it off again. Ooh, Williams stop it and turn it direction, and he fumbled it. Oh, but it's picked up by Terrence Carter, who takes it down to the 25. Freaking insane. Now the fumble went forward. Can you advance the fumble like that? I mean, it bounced forward. I guess you can. Oh, we got a timeout for Texas Tech. I don't know why. I thought you can't advance a fumble forward if you're the offense. Maybe that's if you're an offensive lineman. Dan, heads up play by Terrence Carter, who I love, by the way. He's going to be a name you hear a lot during this draft cycle. I'm a sucker for these tight ends that can make guys miss, create after the catch. It was like that with Harold Fannin last year had a Bowling Green. All right, here comes 1st and 10 after the timeout. They're at the BYU 25. Here comes pressure. Morton, he breaks free. He's going to run with it. Ooh, slides forward. Why are you sliding forward? Head gets a little roughed up, but hey, we're up tempo. The clock is moving. We're down to 35 seconds. And Morton's going to throw it up to the end zone. It's a little behind almost. What a catch by Caleb Douglas. Good coverage, but man, Douglas almost made a very nice catch. 3rd and 7. Morton dropping back, and he overthrows Terrence Carter. Carter didn't even know he was throwing it to him. He thought there may have been a guy behind him. The ball was that off target. Golly. So we're going to get a field goal here. There we go. As Texas Tech goes up by 6. 16 seconds left. Gonna get touchback here. I imagine BYU probably just takes this to half. You start with the ball. You're down 1 score. Just focus up, get a good drive to open the half, get some points. Nothing has done more harm than NIL. I disagree. I think NIL has given parity to the game. I think NIL has, for one, it's getting players paid, as I think they should. And I mean, I get it. I was on the other side of that. I mean, these guys are getting scholarships to play football, so free full ride. Uh-oh. Looked like Lee Hunter was trying to help LJ Martin up, and then he just decided to let go. Oh my gosh. They're getting feisty, and I like it. But yeah, no, I think I've kind of leaned with or learned to like NIL. Now these players can go play somewhere. I mean, they're putting their body on the line. They can make it a little extra coin, do a little bit more than just get a free ride to college, which I mean, that in and itself is huge. But now, like these schools can go out and kind of treat the transfer portal like free agency. And now these blue blood colleges don't have to, or these blue blood colleges don't hoard all the talent. If you don't want to wait to play, you want to like, hey, no, I want to get on the field. I want to play some football. You could go elsewhere and do that. There's probably going to be a program that's willing to pay you to do that. So I'm kind of on board with it, man. It is kind of taking the talent hoarding that was going on and spread it across college football. And this is why we get all this chaos and just insaneness in college football, to where we're debating, oh, who's going to make the playoff because there's so many teams that are viable. Like, I think NIL has actually worked out well. Has it been handled the best? No. But I don't think I'm against NIL. The transfer rule is way worse than NIL. Oh, dude, the transfer rules have always been terrible. The transfer portal comes up at the worst time. Teams that are in the college football playoff will have players that have to sit there and decide, well, do I help my team make a run or do I go transfer somewhere else? Like, you had Bo Perbula, who was like, hey, I want to go be a starter somewhere else. But if Drew Aller is going to stick around and stay, I would like to go somewhere and start. I want to be a starter. So he was forced to have to enter the transfer portal prior to stinking the college football playoff. It's just horrible. Favorite snack? I don't know, dude. I'm a snacker through and through. I'm a snacker, but but I don't know, man. I guess Dots pretzels are nice. I like that. I like those. I could snack on sushi, but I wouldn't consider that a snack. Hey, Western Michigan goes up 19-6 on Miami, Ohio, trying to avenge that loss from earlier in the year. I mean, shoot, think about transfer rules back in the day where you'd have to sit out a year. They were horrible, horrible transfer rules. Speaking of the transfer portal, I kind of want to see what we got. College football transfer portal. Let's pop up. See if there's any names we recognize. And by recognize, I mean like guys that I'm like, oh, there's some draftable guys there. Hey, I got Strader on my that was on my watch list. He's going to be hitting the transfer portal. I don't think he got a lot of playing time this year at Auburn. Yeah, maybe we just go to the top guys. Here we go. Top. Oh yeah, Boo Carter in the transfer portal. Yeah, Dylan Edwards. Got Daniel Harris back in. Because what he initially came, didn't he come from somewhere else? Am I just misremembering that? Okay, no, yeah, he's always been Georgia. He's been Georgia the last 3 years. Maybe I was thinking about someone else. I think I'm thinking of a corner that came from Georgia, went to Purdue. Oh, let's see. What other cats are up in here? Yeah, I mean, this thing's going to start getting packed once we get closer to the bowl season, bowl games. Jared Richardson was the guy I just added to my draft guide. He's actually going to be transferring from Penn. He's put up some big numbers last 2 years for Penn. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of FCS guys. Yeah, not a lot of ton of names I actually recognize. Oh, C and B players never get the chance excel and turn into A plus future NFL stars by practicing and competing with elite players because all elite players go to the same school. The Big East, basketball wise, is basically toast due to NIL, as are all of the other smaller schools. The same is happening with baseball and football. March Madness last year had hardly any smaller schools in the Sweet 16. I heard Rayola is going to transfer. That could be his brother already decommitted. So maybe that's a sign of things to come for Rayola. Oh, what's this? They don't. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear what South Carolina players will stay because I mean, it sounds like Beamer is going to be sticking around, which is huge. All right, I'm gonna go top off my coffee. I'm gonna get some liquid sustenance as well. So if you're on the YouTube, you're gonna get hit with an ad. Hey, while you're enjoying that ad, why don't you hit that like button? Only 16 likes. I don't know why y'all don't like me. Is it because I'm bald? Yo, end bald hatred. If you're still here on the X, I'll be back in a sec. Hey, are we out of the sugar cookie? Hey, Missy, no more sugar cookie? Hello? Hey, all right. You coming in? Hey, buddy. All right. I'm back. Where to? I went to go get some sparkling water. Tropical fruit sparkling water. Might be a little bit too much for me. Yo, did Western Michigan just have a field goal taken off the board? The NFL needs to have 11 refs on the field so they can watch every interaction on the field. No more missed calls. Well, I don't know. If you're asking for more calls, then I mean, if you want more calls, they're going to call holding every play. I don't know about that. I don't want to lose the physicality of the game. Because we're here trying to over enforce the rules. I like that in some cases you get some leniency. So I don't want an over enforcement of the rules. I don't think that's what we want in football. We're still complaining about refs. Dude, we're always going to be complaining about refs in football. I do think that it would be nice if you have the people in the box, the control room, whatever. They could call down and be like, "Hey, you know what? That was probably a bad call. It was a bad call on the penalty. You should probably pull that flag, or put that flag away." I would like to see the box, the control room, whatever you want to call it, have a little bit more enforcement when they see something go down. Like, okay, go back to the Auburn Oklahoma game where Oklahoma certainly got away with that trick touchdown. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I can't remember if they had an extra guy on the field or if it was Centania didn't go in the huddle. So technically he wasn't supposed to be on the field. I can't remember specifically, but that touchdown should have been taken off the board. That should be something that you hear that call from the command room, be like, hey, you need to take that touchdown off the board. That's a no-go, So Texas Tech back on yet? No, we're still at halftime. We got about 8.5 minutes till second half kickoff. Michigan State game's close. Cool. Wait, I'm confused. How did Duke enter the playoff conversation? They're not in the playoff conversation. I know they might say, hey, they got 1% chance to make the playoff. Duke is not making the playoff. Unless somehow college football rankings committee comes out, Duke wins the ACC, and they jump James Madison, which would be ludicrous. But there is a good chance the ACC, if Duke wins, won't be represented in the college football playoff. And I find that hilarious. Because let's just say, okay, BYU wins this game. Virginia has to win, or else the ACC will have no representatives. Let's say BYU loses this game, because now we get to the argument, oh, Miami, Notre Dame. I think if Virginia loses and Duke wins, the college football committee, because I think based on resume alone or whatever the hell the college football committee is determining, they're not going to put Miami ahead of Notre Dame. They're not. I think they should. They won't. But if the ACC stands a chance to not have any representation, that might hold more weight and force Miami to jump Notre Dame. That's where my head's at. Shouldn't it be the highest ranked team from the conference instead of conference champion? No. You play. I'm confused. You could play. You play the college football championship to decide a champion. Your champions decided on the football field. Just like basically your ranking should be decided based on what you put on the football field. That's all I'm saying. How is this going to be a game being played in a neutral site? Because most college football championships are. ACC should try to scoop up South Florida. I think Heartline can take that program to the next level. I don't think the problem is the ACC. I think the problem actually is the ACC has too many teams. Because if you're trying to look for common opponents for like Virginia and Miami, there aren't many. And Virginia kind of had an easier-ish conference schedule. I mean, shoot, what was Virginia's strength of schedule ranked? Did I miss? No. Yeah, Virginia had the 82nd strength of schedule compared to Miami, who has 44. So I think more teams creates more of a problem. BYU not good enough this time. They weren't good enough last time. Do you have Peacock? Yep, I get it through Comcast, through my internet. So I get Peacock. Kansas City beat Cincinnati a couple of times because the ref calls gave them key first downs. I mean, if we're gonna reference the Joseph Osai push out of bounds, I mean, yeah, that was the right call, but I didn't love it because I felt like it was like Osai's momentum just kept him going, and that was crushing, dude. Texas Tech playing the conference championship in Texas is not fair. I mean, that's where they have it. Is what it is. The Big Ten has too many teams too. Yep. I mean, a lot of these conferences have too many teams. I mean, we could have this conversation later because again, I plan on doing a quick little stream to kind of project the college football playoff after the Big Ten championship game. And I mean, a lot of that hinges on is it Virginia or is it James Madison heading into the college football playoff? Oh, but yeah, because dude, this Notre Dame Miami conversation, it's gotten a little toxic. And I feel like people are saying things they don't truly believe. Like, if you truly don't believe head to head matters, then I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Why play the games if head to head victories aren't going to be one of the bigger parts of the equation? Which games are you doing after this? We're going to do the SEC championship game. So Georgia, Alabama. And then after that, we're going to do the Big Ten championship game, Indiana, Ohio State. I'm very excited for those next two games. Georgia, Alabama, typically always great. Indiana, Ohio State. Who I'm eager for. I'm eager. USC, UCLA, and Oregon West Coast teams on Big Ten now is nuts. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Dude, conference realignment's been a hoot. Like, riddle me this. The Atlantic Coast Conference championship game was decided between a team from Texas going out to face a team from California. That SMU Cal game decided Duke getting in to the ACC championship game. That's kind of wild to think about. Yeah. Well, the Pac-12 will be back. They have 8 teams next year because you're gonna have a lot of movement. Because what? It's like Texas State. A lot of the Mountain West schools moved. What does the Pac-12 look like next year? Is it even going to be called the Pac-12? Pac-12 football realignment. So Oregon State, Washington State, and now they will have Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, and Texas State. Just call it the Pac State because they're all state teams. What does that leave the Mountain West with? So they're going to add UTEP and Northern Illinois. Interesting. What do you think about Houston, Tennessee, and Miami go to? What do you mean? What? Oh, what bowl? Well, I think Miami should go to the college football playoff. Bowl game specifically, I don't really know. I haven't looked into who typically plays at what bowl. I mean, there's you could Google bowl predictions out there, and there's websites that give you pretty good projections. Notre Dame should have joined it along with a few other teams. Notre Dame's got a good gig going though. They got a good gig going. Now the problem with the Pac-12 is that they always played their primetime games at 11 p.m. I love Pac-12 late at night. Pac-12 dark. I loved that. All right, we're about to get kickoff here for the second half. I'm gonna hit the refresh. I like it. I like it right up there with midweek machination. Oh, we got Ale Kim Lego Tech. Miami is in if BYU loses. Not necessarily. I think the college football committee really wants Notre Dame in instead of Miami. I think Miami, they need Duke to win because there's no way they're going to let Duke in the college football playoff. And there's also, I feel like the college football committee is going to be like, there's no way we can not have an ACC team represented. I think that's how Miami jumps. Bachmeyer getting it out quick, and I believe that's to Roberts, picking up about 5 to 6 yards. Don't be so quick to write off BYU. I'm not. BYU's played a good game. The defense, good as usual. The offense, I'd like to see a little more consistency. They haven't really done much since their opening drive. Handoff here to Martin, who's going to be close. Nope, he's going to be past the first down. Miami will jump, but Notre Dame, mark my words, everyone knows they deserve it. Committee is cave into the backlash. We'll see. I think Miami should be over Notre Dame just because of the head-to-head. I think, okay, if I'm being real about this, I would put BYU ahead of both those squads. BYU has better strength of schedule. They might not have a better win than those two squads. I mean, you could argue Utah's a better win than USC, which is, Bachmeyer with a nasty little run. He's running hard. He's like a fullback at quarterback. But the Utah win's actually better than anything Notre Dame has. Miami just has a better win being Notre Dame. But BYU has the better strength of schedule. They only have one loss. They actually made their conference title game. I would personally have BYU ahead of both Miami and Notre Dame. I think there's a better argument for we should be discussing BYU and Vandy over Notre Dame and Miami. So, 2nd and 4. We're going to get a fake handoff here. They're looking for the swing. I think, was that a backwards pass? No, they're calling it incomplete. Dangerous throw, though. BYU overrated. I mean, they're 11-1. Their one loss came against the number 4 team in the country. They're right now down 6 to the number 4 team in the country. They beat Utah. I don't think they're as overrated as people make it sound. I really don't. Again, I think I'd have BYU over I probably would have BYU over Miami and Notre Dame, and I'm a Miami fan. All right, 3rd and 4. And whistle, flag. Don't tell me false start. Prediction for Mendoza tonight, career game, 2+ TDs, or does Arvell Reese eat the man alive? He has a horrible game. I think Mendoza's coming off actually a pretty bad game against Purdue. I think he steps up tonight. I think he's going to have a good game. Will it be enough? Because I think he's going to have like a huge game to beat Ohio State tonight. Would love to see Duke win and James Madison get through. Been my second team for a few years. Probably the only British guy rooting for the Dukes. That's funny, Jack. All right, so after the false start, we got 3rd and 9. The referees are coming together. Oh, they got to reset the game clock because it was still running. Okay. BYU, Texas Tech are both overrated. They both look like trash. I disagree. I vehemently disagree. Am I the only one who thinks Mendoza is just kind of average? No, I don't think he's average, but I think he's like above average. I think he's pretty solid. Like he's stepped up in big moments. He has an arm that can make some big time throws. He runs that offense to a T. I think against Purdue, he was just off. Bachmeier, it's a little inside screen to Kingston, who gets the first down. He's down at the Texas Tech 40. Little bubble screen that comes across the formation. Not too bad. Yeah, Texas Tech's I think Texas Tech's a pretty darn good team. Like defensively, they're really good. And that's without Skylar Gill Howard, who went down earlier this year. Offense needs to do a better job finishing drives. But to be fair, BYU is the only team that's really given them problems when it comes to that. All right, 1st and 10. We're going to get a swing pass out to LJ Martin, and it is stopped in the backfield by Pollock. Yo, Bryce Pollock. Remember this dude's name. I don't know if he comes out this year. I doubt it. He's another guy that's could be in this very stacked 2027 class. He's been really good this year. Do you think Jacob Rodriguez can be first round linebacker? I don't. I don't mind him on day 2. I'm not taking him day 1. It's hard to get me to take a linebacker day 1 as it is. But there's just better athletes. And I'm sorry, but to a degree, athleticism matters in the NFL. Gets it out to Roberts. Picks up a good chunk of yards there. It's going to set up 3rd and 8. Again, when it comes, I get at the linebacker position, athleticism isn't the end all be all, and that's not to say Rodriguez isn't athletic. It's just I think he's a good, not great, not an elite athlete. He's having a great year, but we're talking about the NFL, land of the freaks. I think he could definitely be like you've seen Nate Landman come alive. He gets the extension this year from the Rams, played good football, handoff, Martin, nice stiff arm, and he's going to get the first down. They needed 8, and he was like, I got 11 for you. Holy smokes. Yeah, but when it comes to the NFL, it's land of the freaks, man. I mean, he can be I didn't like Nate Landman coming out of Colorado. I thought he was just kind of an old school thumper. But if you could do linebacker things well, if you have it upstairs, which I think Rodriguez has, you probably deserve to go earlier than whatever your RAS score is, right? That's why I would firmly take him day 2. All right, here comes the pressure. Dumps it out to the running back, but it's incomplete. Running back wasn't expecting the pass. Running back may have been going out for the wheel route. I'd take any linebacker that's 6'4" in the first round. If they were 6'4", 210, I don't think I'm taking that guy in the first round. All right, we got a 2nd and 10. Let's see here. Hey, if you're on the YouTube, hit a thumbs up. It's always much appreciated, much applies. Dante Corleone will get drafted, I think, somewhere on day 3. That's where I would have him day 3. Wow, they smother LJ Martin at the line. It's going to set up another 3rd and long. Yeah, Bachmeier is basically like a fullback at quarterback. That's kind of the mentality. The dude's a dog. He's a dog and a gamer. All right, here comes 3rd and 9. Oh, you had more?
Yes.
Oh, well. Oh, wow. It's too late now. I used French vanilla.
For later then.
I think Gojo's chilling. Oh, nope. There he goes. Oh, you let it fly in. All right. So they end up not getting the first down. They tried the same play with Kingston, the kind of the bubble screen that comes across the formation. Ends up not coming to fruition. Oh, dang, I got to fly in here, bro. I'm throwing hands. All right, here comes a field goal. Bro, come at me. Oh, it's keeping its distance. Oh, he shanked that sucker. Oh, he shanked it. Oh, buddy. Dang, that's a fat fly, too. I think I might go grab my electric fly swatter. Dude, that's rough. Yeah, another missed field goal in this outing, man. That is rough. All right. Well, if you don't know, this is a draft channel, boys and girls. We like the NFL draft. We love the NFL draft. We talk NFL draft. If you didn't know, I got a draft guide currently being updated. Eventually, we'll get the website up. We'll see. It's a freaking fly, man. It's currently in the works, so I'm going to shoot my draft guide promo while I grab my fly swatter.
We love the NFL draft, and now my draft guide is available for purchase. It comes with over 500 player backgrounds and close to 300 player evals. It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So when I add a new eval or I change my rankings, you're going to be the first to know. It's going to have all the pro day and combine numbers along with analytics. And it's a Google spreadsheet for right now. So you have to include your email with the purchase, but we will be switching over to a website at the end of the year. And if you get it now, it's going to be cheaper now than it will be later. It's a great way to support the channel. And as always, much appreciated, much obliged.
All righty then. A lot of exciting QB possibilities in the next draft, dude. You don't have to tell me. You know what the sad thing is about the quarterback prospects potentially in this class? Say Dante Moore goes back to school. I think Fernando Mendoza, he's going regardless. He's coming out in this class. Ty Simpson, I lean that he probably comes out, but first year starter. The thing is, if he decides to come out in the 2024 class, there's going to be more talented quarterbacks than him, probably, at least from like an arm talent perspective. And he's going to be going on 24. It's kind of it'd kind of be similar to what happened to Garrett Nussmeier this year, who I don't know if you can't even make an argument for Nuss in the first round. You can't make there's a chance Nuss falls out of the day 2. But that's the thing. So let's say Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza for sure come out. Let's even say Dante Moore. I don't know who's going on day 2. Nuss? I don't know if I love that. I think if he goes, it's late 3rd round to be a backup quarterback. Jordan Mailata, I think he's returning. Taylon Green, he's got some tools. He's a very toolsy player. He's going to kind of need a big Senior Bowl. Sawyer Robertson, Brendan Sorsby. I mean, those guys are I just don't think they got the accuracy to warrant day 2 selection. I'd rather take those shots early day 3. Carson Beck, Cade Klubnik, not ideal size. Like, who are you taking on day 2 in this draft? Nobody. Hand off to Williams, who picks up a couple. It's going to be 2nd and 8. But next year's class, golly, dude. Arch Manning, John Mateer, he's probably returning. Unless he has a really good college football playoff, but he just has not looked like the same player. Nico Iamaiava, I know I butchered it. It is what it is. Ooh, Williams, good run here. He's got the first. He's out past the 40 down to the Texas Tech 47. Let's see. Who else we got? Sam Levitt's coming back. Darren Manessa's probably coming back. You look to like Julian Sayin. Dylan Raiola is going to be an interesting eval. Dude, CJ Carr. DJ Lagway's got all the tools. Dude, Lenore Sellers, I didn't even bring him up as potentially coming back. This class is going to be, like 2027 is going to be nuts. I think Simpson should come out. He's likely a top 5 pick right now. I think he's like a top 20 pick. I don't know about top 5. They get it out quick to Virgil, who's going to be close. It's going to set up like a 3rd and 2. Do you think Dante Moore will stay in school? I'm 50-50 on that. Again, I know Todd McShay has come out and said, hey, there's been real talks among his family. Oregon, they're willing to pay him handsomely if he returns. So I think there's a good chance he returns. Williams rails off another good run. First down at the BYU 40. It's going to be interesting because for me, if you're going to ask what quarterback I would take in 2026, first overall, it'd be Dante Moore. Nussmeier better than Mendoza? I don't think so. Mendoza's got better size, and he just doesn't put the ball in harm's allegedly doesn't put the ball in harm's way as much as Nuss. Nuss is really bad in that regard, though. There's flags. I love the prospect of Sam Levitt as a day 2 pick for the developmental potential, but he's transferring as the new sounds. Yes, I don't think he should come back out anyway. If you got more eligibility and you're reasonably young, then Jack, did you send me your email so I could hook you up with the draft guide? Yeah, you did. Sick. All right, let me hook you up right now. All right, here we go. 1st and 15. It's a bubble screen that's through the hands of Caleb Douglas. Doesn't look like it would have got much anyway. There you go, Jack. I have just hooked you up with the draft guide, my friends. Much appreciated, much obliged. Guys, there's like 140 some people in the YouTube, and we got 23 likes. Don't make me beg. It costs you nothing. Hit the thumbs up. Here comes some pressure. Morton's rolling out. Gets it. Finds Caleb Douglas for the first down and then some. Down at about the BYU 22. Hey, thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. Or am I talking to Ashley right now? Okay. I mean, that's fair, Crow. Like, I don't think Mendoza's like all that in a bag of chips either. Especially that Purdue game was so rough. I covered it on the stock report. Oh, throwing a freaking sky high lob to Dickey on the swing. You kind of had to, but that's dangerous. Why would you throw that? Lob it up just for what? A defender to take it the other way? Golly. Eric says, Broshmo, I know it's only his rookie year, but he was really young coming out, but I'm already concerned about McCarthy. Yeah, I'd be a little concerned, but I think we've seen the upside of McCarthy. And again, like you said, this is technically his rookie year. I'd be more willing to see another year of McCarthy before I get worried. All right, we get a handoff to Terrence Carter, who picks up only a couple. It's going to set up a 3rd and 8. What a horrible, that lob pass. I can't believe that. Ugh. No upside with McCarthy? I disagree. There's a reason he went top 15. He's got arm talent. And if you think about it, this is the first time he's ever seen adversity as a football player. He was a winner in high school. He was a winner in college. And now this is probably his first taste of adversity. I'm more willing to see how it looks next year than just giving up on McCarthy in my opinion, a whatever quarterback class. So they're going to be going for it here on 4th and 2 from the BYU 14. So Dickey took the direct snap. He tossed to Morton. Morton's looking, and he underthrows it to Caleb Douglas. Douglas looking for a flag, but I mean, I don't love the play call. I don't love the pass. There could have been, I mean, you try to get tricky on 4th down. I get it, but Notre Dame blows out both these teams. You would think. But I also saw Boston College play Notre Dame competitively for almost 3 quarters. So you never know any given Sunday. That's why, hey, winning games matters. I don't trust the eye test. Dude, people were out on Ohio State after they lost to Michigan last year. And what did they do? They buzzsawed every team in the college football playoff. This eye test thing, I don't trust my own eyes, let alone someone else's. I'm kind of out on the eye test. Listen, if your resume is good, you get in. Do what you need to do to get into the college football playoff. And we won't have to worry about this whole eye test bull crap. Should have been pass interference? Yeah, probably, but the pass sucked. The pass wasn't even close. Oh, shoot, Eric, I'm your number one YouTuber you watch this year? That's wild. No football analysis or Tom Grassi? I love those two, by the way. I love football analysis. No NFL stock exchange? They've been doing a lot of lives, though. I think they're now exclusively live content. McCarthy's been one of the least accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. Stats don't lie. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like he's always been. Like, if you go to his college film, he wasn't an inaccurate passer. All right. Yeah, Princess needs to go. All right. There we go. Do I have any moderators in the chat today? I don't think I have any moderators in the chat. Where are my mods? Where are my mods at? I got to make somebody a mod. Let's see. Where are you, Eric? Eric, you have been given the power. You've been around long enough. There you go, Eric. If you see spam, knock it out. If I tell you take out a user, man. Hey, Wiccan, I always appreciate the super chat. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, dude. It is conference championship weekend. I'm doing great. All right, we get a handoff here to Moa, who picks up maybe a yard or two. Both these teams don't look like both these teams do not look like playoff teams, David. I mean, this is kind of what playoff football looks like. When two good teams face one another, this is what happens. Oh, here comes the pass rush. Bachmeier, he's running. Gets to about the 20, is going to set up a 3rd and 4. Both of these teams are better than Notre Dame. I won't go that far. If you're going to ask me, well, for one, I don't like betting BYU games. Just the opposite thing happens, whether I go for BYU or if I bet against BYU. The opposite thing tends to happen. Though I did hit my last BYU bet. Me personally, I would say Notre Dame's probably a better team than BYU. If you're going to ask me about Notre Dame, Texas Tech, I think that's a lot tougher. That's a lot closer. But again, this is why we don't leave things up to the eye test. You look at the resumes. Like BYU, I might think, which I do, that that Notre Dame is a better team than BYU. But the resume says BYU just has a better resume and they deserve to be in. What's your expert analysis of BYU QB Brackmeyer? Is he a future QB to watch? Wiccan, I would say no, because I think he's been inaccurate a lot. And we've seen a lot of screens. Like his biggest throws today came on that Kingston bubble screen that came across the field. But I mean, he's also a true freshman, so there could be a lot of growth that happens. I like his toughness. I like that he's a gamer. But when it comes to the actual arm talent, I have my doubts. I got my questions. Think BYU just signed a really good quarterback? That's dope. 70-year passing touchdown. Incredible. Just kidding. Oh, George. Anyway, that would be what I think about Bachmeier, Wiccan. But again, I'm not going to watch this guy this offseason. I'll watch him the offseason after that when he's actually draft eligible. Dude, what about Vandy flipping Georgia's 5-star quarterback? Lee Clark staying Commodore of the ship there. Freaking wild. BYU's strength of schedule has been weak. Barely got past Colorado even. Well, technically, if you're looking at strength of schedule, BYU has a much better strength of schedule. They're 34th. I say much better, but they have a better strength of schedule than Notre Dame. BYU's 34th compared to Notre Dame 42. Now, again, context always needed. Notre Dame, in their 10 wins, they've won by double digits. So yes, they've won more impressively with a lower strength of schedule. So yeah, context does matter. So I'm not, I guess I would say the conversation is a bit more close. It is a bit close with BYU and Notre Dame. It's just, I'd rather not have to settle on who I think the better football team is, and more so look at what they did over the year. And I could actually point to, this, and this, and this. This is probably why they should get in, rather than, they look better to me. I don't like that. I don't like that. The NFL doesn't do it. Anchor down. Can't believe the Doors flipped 5-star commitment. Never thought the day. Hopefully a big portal, hopefully a bit of portal work, and we can compete again next year. I'm hoping, dude. I love, and I mean I love Vandy. Wiccan, you love my tanks? Hey, I appreciate that. I try to rationalize my opinion. Does it mean I'm right? No. Just means I'm human. Journey, Miami or Notre Dame, bro? Miami. Oh, picked! Intercepted! Going the other way! That's game, dude. That's game. Ben Roberts tips it, then intercepts it. Isn't that very similar to what Jacob Rodriguez, his interception against BYU, where he tipped it, then tipped it back to himself and intercepted it? I haven't looked at Navy's new unis. Tip pick. Nice interception. But Journey, I think Miami and Notre Dame are close because if you look, similar strength of schedule, I think Notre Dame's 42, Miami's 44. You look at common opponents and you've gotten very similar outcomes. Basically big. Oh, we got our handoff to Dickey here. Touchdown. Here it comes. Here it comes, boys and girls. Watch out. I hope you put on your floaties because I think the floodgates are about to be released. But yeah, if you look at Miami and Notre Dame, very similar strength of schedules. They have common opponents to which they both blew out in definitive fashion. I think at the end of the day, you have to go look at the head-to-head. What tells you the head-to-head doesn't matter? Notre Dame, their best win, USC. Miami's best win, it's you. It's Notre Dame. So, yeah, I would say common sense says Miami over Notre Dame. Do I think Miami can get in? I do. With a Duke win, I think, listen, they're going for the 2-point conversion, by the way. They get it out to Terrence Carter, who just quick screen to Terrence Carter. He makes a guy miss, and he gets in. And they have covered minus 13.5, by the way, right now. As of now, they have covered minus 13.5. Now, I think, again, if Texas Tech goes on, wins this game, if Virginia wins the ACC championship game, I think Notre Dame gets in. If Duke wins the ACC championship game, I think Miami might get in just because they need the college football committee to be like, well, we need an ACC. We need ACC representation. Because if Duke wins, then James Madison gets that other seed. That's what I'm saying. That's where my mind's at right now. I think the committee would rather Notre Dame over Miami, but I don't think they're going to just shut out the ACC altogether. All right, touchback here. BYU is going to get the ball at their own 25. BYU's not out of it. I know it might feel like the fat lady has sung and BYU's out of this. Touchdown, and it's a one-score game. So let's reel back. Let's see if BYU's offense can actually do something. They really haven't moved the ball since the opening drive, but let's see if they can do something. All right. Douglas, are you watching Deadline tomorrow? I will be watching Deadline. Izzy, how are you doing? I've had a great day thus far, buddy. Spartan, what if the committee puts Duke in over James Madison because they want the ACC representation? Duke's not even ranked. They're a 5-loss school. You're going to be put in a group of 5, 1-loss group of 5. Conference championship winner below 5-loss. ACC championship winner, Duke. Dude, Duke wasn't even ranked in the last college football rankings. I'm sorry. Some people might say Duke has a chance. There's no chance for Duke. Stone Harrington, very powerful name for a Texas Tech kicker. Yes, it is. All right, we got a 2nd and 9 after the LJ Martin 1-yard gain. And they're going to just keep handing it off after the interception. So 3rd and 6 for BYU after 2 runs. If Duke played James Madison on a neutral site, who wins and why? I'd probably lean Duke, though Duke's defense has been squishy. James Madison has put up a lot of points in games. But I believe I think Darren Manetza could really open up the game. I would lean Duke. Ooh, nice pass it's dropped. Nice pass by Bachmeier. wide receiver gets punished, gets rocked by Pollock. Oh, that wasn't Pollock. That was the safety, Wisnowski. Or Wisniewski, excuse me. Yeah, if Duke wins, I think James Madison gets in. If Virginia wins, they're in. Ball's going to bounce. It's going to go the other direction. And Texas Tech is going to get the ball at their own 33. What do you think BYU can do to right the ship in this game specifically? The defense has been playing good football, but I think Texas Tech, if they lean on the run game, they're going to be fine. Texas Tech has been very good against the pass in this game. However, the offense needs to move the football. I think you're going to have to take shots downfield with Bachmeier. So the offense has to move the football. Texas Tech has literally eliminated the run game because they don't believe you can pass the football. But here comes Texas Tech. We're going to get a handoff here to Williams. Great run. First down to the Texas Tech 45. This is what I'm saying. Texas Tech, they're like, oh, wow, we could run the ball and we could run it really well. I guess we're just going to lean on the run. And they should. Another handoff to Williams here. Yeah, Williams just making sure there's no fumble. He covered up. If you remember, he had the fumble earlier that got advanced by Terrence Carter. Tech is the best team Cougars have faced this season. Yes, they are. Virginia just beat Duke a couple of weeks ago and it wasn't so close. I don't see how Duke wins. Duke's not a bad team, though. Williams, 1 yard gain. It's going to be a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Again, Duke's only a minus 2.5 point favorite, and it's hard to beat a team twice. I get it that Virginia pounded Duke the first time. That's not always going to be the case the second time, or maybe it is. We'll find out. Morton going deep. Oh, what a defense there. He had Caleb Douglas, but golly. The Johnson, the corner there. Freaking nice extension to get his head around and make a play on the football. Yo, I want to write him down. Because golly, that was a good play. I want to take a quick look. How draft eligible are you? What's your name? Evan Johnson. Oh, he's actually played really good this year. 4 interceptions, 4 pass breakups. What?
This was working just now.
Is it not?
Well, it was.
Huh. Well, we have 2 now. And you let the fly back in.
It's a Christmas miracle.
No, it's not. It's a fly in my room.
Why are you naked?
She was talking to my son. I am not naked. In case you heard what my wife said. Dude, this fly. No. Golly. I'm just trying to check out this Evan Johnson cat. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for BYU at their own 14. Fake the handoff. They're passing. There we go. That's what you have to do. You got to pass. You're down 2 scores. It's going to the 4th quarter. Get this passing game going, bro. Yeah. How does Texas Tech have a loss? Well, they had the backup quarterback against Arizona State. And for the most part, it was a healthy Arizona State team. Arizona State had both Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson in that game. Unfortunately for Arizona State, that hasn't been the case for much of the year. Sam Levitt's been out, and Jordan Tyson missed some time with a hamstring injury. Does Bama get a bye if they beat Georgia? Yeah. I think the SEC champion gets a bye. That's how you make conference championships mean something. That's how you make conference championship games mean something again. You might be like, well, Bama's got 2 losses. Well, the Oklahoma loss is kind of a good loss. But you beat Georgia twice. You win the SEC, which you can argue is the first or second best conference in college football. So I think they probably get the 4 seed. Evan Johnson is thank you for looking it up for me, is a redshirt junior. Ooh. So you're saying I should add him to the 2026 draft guide. Here it is. Here's the freaking fly. Dude. All right. We're at commercial right now. I'm going to hit y'all with an ad. I'm getting the electric fly swatter. Give me this fly swatter. Where is it? Get out of here, bro. Yo, I feel like I'm going fisticuffs with this thing. Hey, thank you.
Come on, naked boy.
Do you have a fly in here?
Yeah, I picked.
Why didn't you shake it out?
I thought I did.
No, it's right there. Yeah, because this thing's going to keep sizzling. Unless you take it out.
I'm not gonna touch
No, all you do is go to the trash can and just bang it. Here, you guys stay over there. If you come in, I'm going to get taken off. All right, where's this thing, dude? All right, you know what? I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to hold on to it for now. If I see this fly, I'll start swinging. I'm so freaking paranoid right now. All right, let's get back to the chat. Did Arizona State have Scottaboo for that game, or was he already drafted? What? Dude, yeah, no, Scottaboo. Scottaboo's been in the NFL this year. Kirito, seeing on X that refs have been unfair for BYU, but hard to tell in person. Thoughts? Well, I mean, you could have argued the 4th and 2, and I think there was a good argument to be had that there was pass interference on Caleb Douglas. Mateer falls to the 4th round. No, Mateer's returning. There's no way Mateer comes out this year unless he has a godly college playoff run. All right, let's do a quick scoreboard. Michigan State. Western Michigan's up 23-6 on Miami, Ohio. Looks like they're going to grasp hold of the MAC championship. All right, here. I want to write down. Evan Johnson in my draft guide real quick. And then I'll add him, I don't know, tomorrow. All right, Bachmeier dropping back. He's going deep. And there's a pass interference as Roberts falls to the ground. Pollock covering. I need Cam Dickey to get 101 rushing yards. Is there hope? I mean, I imagine Texas Tech will be leaning more on the run anyway. That was pass interference. He wrapped around him. But Kirito, to answer your question, I don't think the officiating has been biased, if that's your question. Oh my gosh, what a hit! And Romello Hyde picks up the fumble. AJ Holmes, by the way, who I just added to the draft guide. rocked Bachmeier. Bachmeier going back for a play action, turns to get rocked. AJ Holmes, I believe he's a redshirt junior, so he could return. But golly, he has stepped up big for Texas Tech after Gil Howard went down. Golly, where's the turnover kazoo? Got rocked. Oh, man. Oh, check the pulse. I'm telling y'all, this defense is nuts for Texas Tech. We get a handoff to Williams here, who's going to get to about the 20. Dude, 29 turnovers by Texas Tech this year, the most in college football. Freaking insane, man. Utterly insane. All right, we're going to throw it to Williams, that's Evan Johnson with the tackle in the backfield. Guys, this BYU defense has been really good. They are not the problem. Prime, Conor, McGregor, or LA Knight. Who do you think wins in promos? What? Oh, Prime, Conor, McGregor. And we got a sack there. And honestly, if you're trying to keep the clock rolling, you don't want an incompletion. So I get taking the sack there, kicking the field goal. Dude, Conor McGregor was an insane promo. I love LA Knight, don't get me wrong. But McGregor's nasty at the promo. But it's kind of a little different UFC UFC to WWE. The promos are a little bit different. Field goal there as Texas Tech goes up by 17. I think LA Knight's better at telling a story with this promo. Conor McGregor is just, there's more vitriol and vitriol. It's a little, again, you're getting a different promo from a legitimate fighter to simulated fighting. BYU sucks so bad. This proves they've been frauds all year. I disagree. Their only losses this year came to the same team, which happens to be number 4 Texas Tech. Let's say Indiana lost twice to Ohio State this year. Would you say Indiana are frauds? No, they just faced a really good team twice. Texas Tech fans loving it. They should. They've got a great team this year. They're going to go to the college football playoff. They should be loving it. Now, if the question or the statement you're posing, Ron Harris, that, BYU's not a college championship caliber team. Yeah, but I don't think anyone was really saying that. I think if we're going to make it if you're going to be like, well, no, I think they were a college football playoff caliber team. Yeah. In this 12-team playoff era, I think they're a college football caliber playoff team. Anyone else's YouTube getting stuck on an ad and doesn't return to the stream? Oh, dude, that sucks. I hope not. Does it take you somewhere else? Where did it take you, Paper Waves? 8 times I had to exit out while I'm working to resume the stream. Really? That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. That sucks. Only BYU fans saying no stays on a blank screen of an ad. That's weird. That's weird, Paper. Only BYU fans saying their team was invincible. Ha 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 ha. Well, okay, they're not invincible, obviously. I'm not going to call them frauds, though. They were never a championship contender team, but I think they were a viable college football, like playoff contender. Well, Paper, maybe it keeps you on that blank screen because we have 183 people in here and 39 likes. I'm starting to take it personal. Not really, but hey, thumbs up, guys. Cost you nothing. But it means everything to me. All right, BYU. So that's probably it for BYU at this point, but we'll see how they do. Make it 40. We got 40 likes. We got 44 likes. Look at that. Don't let your dreams be memes. I don't even know what that means. BYU's defense had multiple times to take it to the house. You can make that same case for Texas Tech. This isn't on the BYU defense. Oh, what an interception. And it's Roberts. Dude, one hand plucks that sucker. That's Ben Roberts. That's another name I'm taking a gander at right now. Oh, let's see this replay. I want to see how unbelievable. One-handed snatch. Golly. Dude, it looks like he's had a good year too. He doesn't even have to come out this year. Oh, he's got a pretty good stat sheet himself. All right, hand off to Dickey, who's going to be tackled in the backfield. All right, I'm down. I'm down to add Sam Roberts to this year's draft guide. Probably returns with Jacob Rodriguez going to the NFL, but you never know. So Ben Roberts. All right, 2nd and 10 here for the Red Raiders. This BYU QB is embarrassing. Not even college. Dude's a freshman. Let's hold off. Toss out to Dickey, who's tackled in the backfield there. Hey, defense still playing really tough for BYU. I got a screwdriver. Oh, no. Eric, you have a wrench. You are a moderator now. So you're going to help me filter out some stuff. Yeah, Bachmeier's a freshman. Bachmeier is a freshman. True freshman, nonetheless, I believe. All right, 3rd and 11. Got Caleb Douglas in motion. Morning. Dropping back. Chucking it down to Dickey. Hit. Comes out. Incomplete. No, BYU's head coach is good. BYU's head coach is good. Let's not over. let's not look over that BYU's 11-1, had a great year. Let's not look over that. Do we got another missed field goal? Bro. Can't extend this lead? What the heck? All right. Bear Bachmeyer. That's his name. That's such a freaking goated name. Yep, he's a true freshman. So he enrolled early at Stanford for the 2025 season. Then he decided to transfer during spring practices as a freshman, by the way. And this was that was because of the whole Jake Retzloff stuff going down at BYU. So he decides to jump ship and transfer to BYU and contend for that starting quarterback job. So there's the Bachmeyer story. All right, let's take a gander real quick. As looks like things are pretty settled in the MAC. Western Michigan, avenging a loss earlier this year to Miami, Ohio to win the MAC. Seemingly, they're going to go to 9-4. I'm sure that team this year is playing with a heavy heart after the tragedy with Marshawn Nealand. He went to Western Michigan, if you were unaware. So I'm sure things at the school have been heavy as well. So that's winning the MAC. That ought to mean a lot to them. Do you think Waymon Jordan declares for the draft? I'd like to see him stay. I mean, the emergence of what's his name? Is it Cam Keen or who's the other running back there for USC, the freshman? It's like some cool name. USC Keen Miller, excuse me. First name Keen. Way cooler. With the emergence of Keen Miller, I mean, I'd like to see Jordan return. I don't want him to get lost in this running back or in this draft. It's not a great running back class, but I don't think he's done anything to really push himself up boards. I mean, I think that's why Emmett Johnson, Nebraska's running back, decided to come out because he's like, yo, it's not a great running back class. I'm probably going to be a top 10 back in this class. All right, they're going to do speed option. Bachmeyer picks up maybe 2. All right, 2nd and 8, dropping back, dumps it to the running back. I think that's Carson Ryan. Yep, Carson Ryan. He was actually the tight end. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't done a full eval or anything on Wayman Jordan. I've just kind of seen him in highlights and while watching the broadcast and whatnot, USC games. Seems like he looks like a good back, but all right, speed option here. They dump it to LJ Martin. Had nowhere to run. It's going to be 4th and 4. Stats look good. Nice. Good for him. Oh, doesn't look like Bachmeier expected the snap, but he still got it. Almost picked off again. And guess what? Ben Roberts almost had his third interception of the game. And that was 4th down. Yeah, I know he's been banged up this year, which is another reason probably to come back for Jordan. I think like Hollywood Smothers probably returns too, because he was on a hot streak and then he got banged up, and he came back, and he's still for the most part the main back, but that other kid for NC State, Scott, he's kind of taken some of the load as well. I think Mayava is a bit overlooked. Could be a very good pro. Yeah, but I think he returns too. There's I think more meat on the bone that if he returns, he could definitely polish up some parts of his game. Because you watch the Oregon game, there was a lot of just dangerous passes and just like, well, Jacoby Lane somewhere, just gonna chuck it up, and it's like, no. Eric Douglas, who do you think are some top transfers? I see Sellers if he doesn't declare, Harbor if he doesn't declare. Well, yeah, I think those two are obvious. Hudson, wide receiver from Texas Tech, Sam Levitt, Boo Carter, maybe Weinman if he doesn't. Oh, Wegman? You're talking about Connor Wegman? I think Wegman probably stays. Ooh, Williams, Jacoby Williams coming up a little limp. Looking like maybe got a steiner in his leg or something. I mean, other guys that I have not declaring probably, which I mean they could. Who really knows at the end of the day? Drake Bowen, I think, has a chance to be a very, maybe not a special, but a very highly ranked linebacker. He's been really good for Notre Dame, but I'd like to see him return. Let's see. Antonio Williams, I'd like to see him healthy for a season. DeAndre Moore, Texas. I think there's a lot there. He just kind of gets lost in the shuffle among receivers. No, there's Gojo pounding at the door. All right, so Tech going for it on 4th and 2, and they get it out to Aiken, who's in the end zone. Second touchdown of the day for Aiken. And there it is. It was just an easy screenplay. But hey, when your defense is on the field, I don't know, almost 80% of the game, yeah, no, it's going to be debilitating, dude. What do you think of Klubnik? Dude's undersized. I really liked him coming into the year. He really flipped my impression of him. I did not like Klubnik for the longest time. I thought DJU was a better quarterback, and I was like, I don't know why they got this Klubnik kid out here. He's not ready. And then I didn't really think of him too much after that, after another start in season. And then last year, I felt like halfway through the year, I really flipped where I was like, wow, he's a gamer. He's stepping up when no one else is. He's performing well in the big moments. And then this year, it's just been a little lackluster. Like there's good arm talent there, despite being a bit not, and I'm not saying he's like small, but it's very mediocre size. But I think he's got a good arm talent, but it's just not been a great year for him, along with Clemson in general. I think Jacoby Lane has more potential in the NFL than Mekhi Lemon. I disagree. I love Mekhi Lemon. I think he is special. He is special after the catch. He plays the catch point like he's Steve Smith. Jacoby Lane's just kind of in my opinion, a big possession guy that could win the 50-50 ball. I think he's a solid route runner, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything he does too special. You worried about Jordan Tyson's health? Not really, just because he doesn't have, none of those injuries correlate with one another. He had the ACL injury at Colorado as a freshman, then the broken collarbone late in the year last season. And then been just bothered by a hamstring this year. Like none of it correlates, but you do question, okay, are you not fragile? I don't want to say he's fragile, but are you going to be a guy that misses games here and there year after year? Like kind of like T Higgins, who T Higgins, very, very good wide receiver. But hey, sometimes availability is better than ability, which not necessarily true, but yeah, there is part of me that's a little concerned about the health, but it's not like it's a big red flag where it's like, well, Michael Penix, who's now going through what, his third ACL injury in his career or something? A guy that had, during his collegiate career, 4 season-ending injuries. That's kind of a huge red flag. And that stuff correlates. Nothing with Tyson, at least as far as I know, correlates. Yeah, Klubnik's got a good arm. He can layer passes. Like, he's made some nice passes. It's just this year, not great under pressure. I feel like sometimes him and his receivers aren't on the same page. Like, you'll have some where, like, I think I brought this up earlier in a stock report, but I think this was at the Georgia Tech game too. The tight end, he's going up the seams, and it seems like it's an option route, right? Either the tight end can sit if he sees soft coverage in the middle, or if he thinks he could get over the top, just continue the seam route. And the tight end, he sat, and that was the right call. Klubnik threw the vertical seam. So, yeah. Playoff committee, see, that's why we don't have BYU in the playoffs, LOL. Yeah, I mean, the conversation's always, I think the conversation, it's Miami, Notre Dame. That's the conversation. But BYU's been, they're desperate at the end of this game, dude. The score is going to get out of hand. That's just what's going to happen. Could Duke's QB go in the first round? Not this class, not this year. I just don't know. I don't think he's got enough tools to be a first round quarterback, but I really would like him day 2. I had him day 2 coming into the year. I like Manesa a lot. Manensa. All right. Toss to LJ Martin, who fumbles. No! Dude, when it rains, it pours, man. This is a snowball effect. No, I don't follow recruiting a ton. I got my head so far up the butt of the NFL draft. I legitimately follow nothing with high school recruiting. Like I said, until you are draft eligible, you're dead to me. That was a good punch. What was that? The linebacker? Yeah, well, if you're a Cougars fan, you probably should leave the stadium. Avoid traffic. All right, time to run the ball and get us out of here, Texas Tech. Texas Tech, that should, okay, good to see Jacoby Williams is back on the field. Glad that he's not banged up, not hurt. Because he was a little gimpy on the last drive. Maybe he just had a stinger or something in his leg. But yeah, no, Texas Tech should have probably wrapped up a bye now. They should probably get a bye. They're ranked 4. They just won the conference championship. I think right now, both Indiana and Ohio State, I don't even care what the outcome of that game is. Both are going to have first round byes. We're just going to sit here and wait for the SEC champion. It's either Georgia or Alabama. I think one of those teams get a bye. Why are we going downfield? Oh, Reggie Virgil actually almost had the catch. Almost had the touchdown catch. Whoever had 40 for Texas Tech was a lot smarter than I was. I really thought it was going to be close. I don't know what you meant by whoever had 40. Texas would drop 50 on BYU. Strength of schedule should matter more than just straight up wins and losses. These guys are so butts. Well, I mean, you could have Texas like this is the thing, though. Yeah, I think strength of schedule matters, but not when you're like separated by 2 losses. If we're talking about a separation of if Texas was a 2-loss team compared to BYU 1 loss, yes, take that sucker into account. But you lost 3 games, Texas. I don't think there's anything you could do to make up a 2-game difference like that. You say wins and losses shouldn't matter, or strength of schedule should matter more than straight up wins and losses. And I think it does, but not when you're a 3-loss team compared to a 1-loss team. Because it's not like BYU is some group of 5 team. They're a power 4 team. Yeah, and Texas barely beat some bad teams. What, didn't they go to OT with Mississippi State, who, yeah, it's not a great team, but they're feisty. But Kentucky? Who Louisville smashed? Who we lost to, by the way, Miami? So, like, I think there's a healthy balance to be, like, there should be a healthy balance. I do agree with strength of schedule should matter compared to wins and losses, but I think only if it's like you're separated by 1 win and 1 loss. To me, 2 games is too much. Man, Texas Tech's out here still trying to get touchdowns. Wild. Yeah, Texas Tech's defense is nuts. Hey, give BYU's defense a shout out here. They've been on the field like 80% of the time, and they're out. I think they've played good football. It's just their offense is absolute pants. BYU's up there because they're a 1-loss team and they lost to the 4th-ranked team in the country. It's as simple as that. If you also look at BYU's strength of schedule, it's what, 32? BYU's strength of schedule, it's 34. So it's better than Miami. It's better than Notre Dame's. I think you could make a really good case for Vandy to be ahead of BYU. But to be fair, I think BYU has a better win over Utah than the Commodores do. At Tennessee's probably their best win. But yeah, no, BYU was ranked high for a reason. Even if the game's kind of got out of hand here. By the way, field goal was made. We got the field goal slide whistle here. The BYU failed the eye test all year. They failed the eye test when they beat Cincinnati. I think they blasted Cincinnati, right? Blasted TCU. Blasted Utah. Like, come on. Oh, okay, come on. They have not failed. That is hyperbole saying that they failed the eye test all year. This is an 11-win squad. Morgan's not garbage. He's a solid enough quarterback. No, the conference champions don't get automatic buys. They get automatic bids, but they don't get automatic buys. The refs bailed out BYU against Utah. I think the turnover game bailed out BYU versus Utah. Bachmeier drops the football, has to hop onto it. Dude, when it rains, it pours. It's a snowball effect, man. Couple little flurries, and suddenly it's a freaking blizzard for BYU. When you lose the turnover game by like, what was it, -3? You probably deserve to lose the game. And I'm pretty sure Utah did lose the turnover game like that. Utah v. BYU. Dang, was the game that close? Oh, I don't remember it being that close. Was it? I guess it was. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Probably thinking of the Cincinnati game. Which, I mean, I guess that wasn't like I think BYU only won by 12, but they basically controlled that game. That game probably should have been a lot larger margin than it was. Let's see. Team stats. Oh, okay. 2 turnovers to none. Sorry. -2 turnovers. Oh, that was close to pass interference, but I wouldn't call it. Dude, Malachi Tony's freaking nuts. I love Malachi Tony. Just got to see this out. BYU, don't give up any points and head out. Crazy ending in Utah game. I'd have to go back. I faintly remember. On the bright side, almost our whole team is returning next year with a more experienced arch. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Texas definitely deserves to be in the college football discussion. It's just I don't think there's a world where I would put them ahead of BYU. Again, if Texas was 2 loss, then yes, let's do it. 3 losses, the Florida loss matters. I just can't. I don't think you can. I don't think there should be I don't think you should be able to make a case that, oh, we're going to put this 3-loss team over this 1-loss team. Again, Power 4 teams specifically. There shouldn't be anything that actually makes that a strong enough case. We're talking about 2 full wins and losses. Who do you think wins the Iron Survivor? Mine are Soul for the women's and Javon for the men's. Man, I'm a Joe Hendry mark. I don't think he wins it. I think Hendry probably goes to Maine. Joe Hendry's ready for Maine. I freaking love Joe Hendry. It also it depends also the schedule. Yes, but enough to cover 2 losses, enough to cover that 11-1, 9-3. I think you're asking for a lot. You're asking for a lot. Again, I'm not trusting this eye test bullcrap. We could play the eye test all game. Listen, resume matters. Strength of schedule. I get it. It matters. But BYU, they have the 34th hardest strength of schedule. Granted, Texas, they're in the top 10. But if there were a 2-loss team, I'd be more than happy to put Texas ahead of BYU. That's not the case, though. I know it's early, but does Tony have... No, yeah. Malachi Tony is a legit NFL prospect for 2028 because he is a true freshman. Longhorns might leapfrog BYU now that, BYU lost. BYU is going to get leapfrogged by Miami. But also, that might not even matter when it's all said and done. Now, if Miami leapfrogs BYU, why are we not having the Notre Dame BYU discussion if you're the college football committee? Are they going to do the right thing? I doubt it. Eric, no. It's not a 2-loss BYU school. The committee has already come out and said teams will not be what's the word I'm looking for? Penalized for playing an extra game, for playing in their conference championship game. Why would you penalize a team for playing an extra game? Oh, we're going to penalize you because you made it to your conference championship game. That's stupid. That's silly. No, we're talking about a 1-loss BYU school and a 2-loss Texas school. Or a 3-loss, excuse me. That's silly. We don't penalize teams for being so good they make their conference championship game. And I say that, and it's like, we don't penalize teams for being so good Duke 7-5, who play in their conference championship game. But to be fair, Duke won't qualify. That's why we're not talking about them making the college football playoff, even if they do win the conference. Yeah, the Horns beating A&M was impressive. I kind of called that. I figured they'd lose to Georgia, but then they'd come back and beat A&M. Yeah, again, I'm not ripping Texas. Like, dude, the 8th hardest strength of schedule in college football, a loss in Columbus to Ohio State by only 7. That's that's good. Listen, where Texas went wrong was losing to Florida. That's why. That third loss and that third loss being Florida, that's kind of big. What actually, Journey, I like this. I'm a diehard Miami fan. Do you, baby? I like that. What else do we need to happen to get in? I think Duke has to win. If Virginia wins, they're in. And then I think the committee wants Notre Dame in over Miami. So as long as they get that ACC representation, I don't think they're concerned with it. However, if Duke wins, Duke's not making the college football playoff. They're going to put JMU in. JMU ranked 25th on the college football rankings. Duke, nowhere to be seen. I don't think the college football committee is going to let the ACC have no representation. So getting Miami in as a large is their way to get out of that problem. BYU lost, big win. BYU's quarterback got injured and couldn't run at all. That's where I would have replaced the QB. That I think BYU would have been able to compete better. No, I just think Texas Tech is that much better of a team, unfortunately, for BYU. As we're getting knees, and we're about to switch over to Georgia. OU really ain't all that. They failed the eye test from. I'm so done with the eye test. Dude, that defense is elite for Oklahoma. I don't know what. Just because their offense does enough, they don't shoot themselves in the foot. Again, I'm not. If you're trying to sell me on eye test, dude, the eye test last year would have said Ohio State is a fraud after losing to a Michigan team that had a bad year. And then Ohio State goes on. Dude, they were screaming for Ryan Day. Should Ryan Day be fired? Should he be on the hot seat? So much so that there was even discussion going into this Michigan game where it's like, dude, if you can't beat Michigan, do you think he's on the hot seat? That's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's preposterous. Ohio State went on to roll teams in the college football playoff. I'm not in on this eye test thing because eye test, guess what? Your eyes can be wrong. My eyes can be wrong. They have been wrong. I'm not in on the eye test. Let's just settle this sucker by looking at the resume. Yeah, no, champion. Yeah, it would be kind of silly if teams were to get penalized for playing in an extra game and playing in their conference championship game. So I think that would be silly anyway. So what's going on with Ryan Williams, dude? Your guess is as good as mine. It's going to be funky having to watch his tape from this year, knowing what he did his freshman year, and then riding the eval up. It's going to be interesting. All right, guys, we're going to be switching over to the SEC stream in a sec. So thank you for hanging out with me. We're going to be back in a sec. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button right before you get redirected, and I'll see y'all in a moment.